Michelle Rosario Musarra, a New Jersey woman hit in the head with a shovel. Can you describe the attack?
Well, the abuse was going on for 3 to 4 years, and I wanted to confront him to leave him. So I was in the garage with the children were in the house.
With 3 children.
Right, 3 children. I didn't want to get anything started, so I said, look, Tony, I can't take the abuse anymore. I had 2 broken jaws. I had bruises all over me. I can't do it anymore. I want to leave you. He said, you're not going to cause a scandal. I'm a doctor. You're not going to take my kids. He went to the side of the garage, took the shovel off the wall, and whacked me in the right side of the head. I fell and cracked my head on the garage floor, and I don't remember a thing.
Where, with the facts you know now, as you sit here today, where did he take you? What happened for the next week?
Okay, he lifted my body up. He took me to the master bedroom, which was at the other side of the house. So the blood stains got on the rug. We had a rose-colored rug. He took me all the way in the back, put me in the bed, stayed home from work. This happened on Saturday. On the Monday, my maid came to work, and he met her at the door, and he said, Mrs. Rosario had an accident in the garage. She has a nosebleed. Please clean up the blood, clean up everything. But she didn't see any blood from my nose. She saw from the left side of my ear. She didn't think nothing of it, but I wasn't coming around for days. This was days. Then my mother called because we're very, very close. And I would speak to my mother every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day on the phone. And when she wasn't hearing from me, she called. And Robin said, I don't know, she's very, very sick.
Robin the maid.
Right, Robin the maid. She said, Mrs. Manisera, I don't know, she's very sick. She has blood all over her. And then Tony grabbed the phone because he was staying home from work. He didn't want anybody in the house, anybody on the phone with me. He said, Mom, it's not what I thought. She has the flu. She'll call you when she's better. Robin knew right then and there something's wrong. He told me she had an accident. He's telling the mother she has the flu. What's going on? So she got him out of the house. She said, look, the kids need milk. Go to the store. She dragged my body out of the bed, put it in the Mercedes, took the 3 I had 3 little babies at the time. Michael was 5. He was
Michael,
the
man,
Michael was the one who saw the whole incident. That poor kid has suffered quite a bit.
But before I talk to Michael, and Michael, I appreciate your courage, and you know, your mom's given us permission to talk to you. You're 12 years old now, you know, we can. But describe the extent of your injuries.
I had a subdural epidural hematoma, which is 2 blood clots in the brain. My brain was so built up with blood that my brain was to the left side, just squished. The thoughts of me coming back with anything was totally nil. I went through a lot of rehabilitation, and when I came out of that, she took me to the emergency room. I wasn't breathing. They got me back. They flew me to the Baptist hospital. He came running. He calls my mother and says, Ma, hurry up. How quick can you get down here? Michelle's having brain surgery. When my mother came in the airport, he said to her, we may never know what happened to her, okay? He said, we may never know what happened to her. We got to get to the hospital. I'll tell you as I go along. Well, you know, we knew what happened. When I came out of there, he was acting like the doting husband. What I found out was he put IVs in me of lactated ringers, which is definitely for head injuries. Okay, he gave me morphine and Demerol, which will kill you. Absolutely kill you. I don't know how I'm here. I really don't, Father.
Let me talk to Michael. Okay, I'll sit right down here, buddy. Did you really see it?
Yeah.
Do you really remember it?
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Well, I saw what she described. Just whacked her and she was on the floor.
What did you do when your dad whacked her?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything.
Did you cry? Did you scream?
I didn't know what was going on.
What happened to your husband?
That was the interesting part. The police said that Michael was the only witness and he was too emotionally disturbed to testify. They did not charge him criminally. So we filed a medical malpractice.
Wait, they never charged him
No.
with a crime?
No.
So your husband, Dr. Antonio Rosario, has never been charged with a crime?
No.
He, of course, denies any criminal wrongdoing.
Of course.
You sued him?
Yes.
For medical malpractice?
Medical malpractice.
What happened?
We had him for all the depositions were taken. He pleaded the fifth on hitting me in the head with a shovel, which is pretty much admission. But the problem was, I went to jail because during all this, he didn't get charged. The cops set up a person from Fairfax, Virginia, because I knew all the police in Martinsville, and they had a detective come out and talk to me and said, look, your husband hasn't been charged with a crime. I can get him. I can kill him.
Wait a second.
Yeah?
Are you about to tell us that you attempted to hire a hitman to
Yes.
kill your husband?
Yes.
You'll hear the rest of that story after this break. Stay tuned. Michelle Rosario, the New Jersey woman, allegedly attacked in a brutal fashion by her own husband, a prominent doctor. No criminal charges, however, were filed. We are told by Michelle the reason is that her son, Michael, just 5 years old at the time, was considered too young to be a reliable witness. She sued her husband for malpractice. That suit never came to fruition. In her frustration, Michelle is about to tell us how she attempted to hire a hitman to kill her husband. The hitman was actually an undercover cop. So you went to jail.
Right. I went to jail for 6 months because the judge had seen me before him for domestic violence. He said, I have to make an example of you. I did the time.
What was the charge?
The charge was attempting to
Hire a hitman.
hire a hitman.
And so you, as you sit here today, you admit that you attempted to hire
yes.
a hitman. You wanted to kill your
Oh,
husband.
yes.
Was it a sense of frustration that drove you to that?
Yes, Geraldo, because he was a doctor. I didn't have anything to stand on. I was just a plain girl, and he was a prominent orthopedic surgeon. People knew he was a little crazy. I mean, in town they were talking. They believed me full, but it's just the point that I had no money.
See, that's the thing about domestic violence,
Right.
and especially when relatives get involved. This is bizarre, trying to hire a hitman, but the relative hears about the abusive spouse, the relative gets involved, the relative goes to jail for assaulting the
Exactly.
allegedly abusive spouse. You can't do it that way, folks. That's the Wild West. It doesn't work. She spent 6 months in jail. This is what they call insult to injury.
Right.
Exactly. So Rosario, who denies all these charges, incidentally, and we invited him on the program, and he has refused to come on, he lives his life untouched by either the civil or criminal courts. Michelle, on the other hand, is a convict. She did 6 months behind bars. Who said the world was fair? How are you now?
I'm great.